He's doing his job in this case, but he's got to let the politicians do their job.
You want a crazy dog at that job, but you also want him on a leash.
That's it.
As long as they keep that dude on a leash, I think we'll be all right. Because if that dude's off the leash,
we all get bit.
all might be.
We all get bit. Well, one of us for sure is getting bit.
Well, you're Mexican. We're married to Mexicans. They might take us.
Yeah. I'm just looking at you two like, y'all need to have a plan to get me back.
He's sending families back. So that means that your whole family, gone.
Yeah, okay.
His whole family, gone. My whole family, gone.
Okay, but someone's got to come get us. Y'all got to come get us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, y'all got to work some things out. I'm looking at my son.
No.
You gonna be all right, son.
No. My kids are black. He Mexican. His dad's Mexican. We already established this.
Okay. What's going on, fam? This is Anthony from the Not Offended podcast, the conservative Chicano right here. If y'all could do me a favor, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could leave a comment, hit the like button, but most of all, if you could hit subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, welcome to the Not Offended podcast. It's your boy, Anthony, conservative Chicano. What's going on, mi gente? This is it. It's the final one, gentlemen. It's the last podcast of the year. You guys excited? Show me your excited face.
I'm excited.
You're only excited because the Ducks are getting ready to play in a couple
it's
days,
going to
man.
be a really good week, or, just more prayer.
So
fasting.
are you low-key at all rooting for Ohio State at all, like just a little bit because so many believers are on that team or anything like that?
No. What?
What's going on?
There's all those Christian believers on the Ohio State. You know,
No, but who's
Buckeyes.
playing? I mean, is
Oregon,
it
Ohio State.
last four?
No, last 8.
Yeah, I think we're at 8 right now.
But are you gonna low-key root for the Buckeyes at all? Just
No.
Man,
He can't. He's a Michigan fan.
But where's some loyalty to other Christian believers?
Still a believer?
There's still got to be Christians on Oregon.
You don't live and die on how you lose. Yeah.
At least one.
You guys don't care.
There's got to be at least the punter or something, the punter's a Christian, or the
long snapper,
the head equipment guy.
I love it, man. Hey, we've had a great year of podcasting. I just real quickly, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been hitting the subscribe button on our page. I don't know if it's the thought of us roller skating, but we have jumped up. We've broken over the 900 barrier on our way to 1,000. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share this, do something. But guys, we got to dive right in. We talk about culture and its influence on the church. This has got nothing to do with the podcast, though, okay? I need you guys. I can't believe it. Mandy and I, my wife Mandy and I, we added up how much money people are willing to donate if we will go roller skating and somewhat attempt to do what those guys are doing. And by the way, everybody loved my name, Choco Taco. Everybody loved it, just so you guys know. Nobody found that offensive whatsoever. Well, they can't because it's a Not Offended podcast. But needless to say, they want us to. I'm going to shock you guys. This is a drum roll. I want you guys to guess. How much do you think people have offered so far? What do you think is out there?
Total or per person?
Total. What do we got as a total?
$300.
What do you got as a total?
No, it's probably like 600, 700.
It's $500 right now. They're willing to pay $500. So the question becomes, and Bishop, this is at you. Mike was easy to purchase. Mike said you had him at $300. He was like, I'm willing.
But $500 doesn't give us $300 each.
We need to know. The audience needs to know. And my wife is even saying, how much does Deshaun need to go roller skating? Deshaun, this is the moment. What is it going to take to move the needle for you? Our audience wants to know. Come on.
I don't know. That's not enough to tell you that. Keep your money. I told you guys some bills may be coming up soon, so we'll see. We'll see some things change.
We think
we see how the taxes hit this year. See if Uncle said, give me some money or take some. I demanded some money. We're going to find out.
So this is that Bidenomics again, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
If you're bringing up taxes, and I need.
We got to go roller skating.
I need to skate for any for anything and everything. My number's got to be anything over 0.
So right now you're in, huh?
Unfortunately, I think I'm in.
He's in. Deshaun, what we got to do to move the needle, bro? Are we close? Do you feel like we're close?
I'm telling you, I just don't like doing stuff I'm not good at.
Okay. Are you good at it? Is there something I need to know? Like, you the roller skater champion of Oregon that we don't know about it, or what, man? Are you good?
No. People are willing. The only thing I would do that I'm not good at is Jesus tell me to do something. If Jesus tell me to do something, I'll do it. I'm not saying I'm the best preacher. I'm not saying the best pastor.
So we just got to pray. Because I could use some money. Could you use some money? I mean, we're at that point.
But you did say that we had to attempt the dance thing, though.
Okay, I said attempt. Hey, we got to go back and look at that dance. Like
there was a guy that did a whole leg over, and everybody went through.
I tell you what. Let's just watch the clip again and let's thoroughly analyze this real quickly because the number's getting there. I feel like the number's close. So let's just look at it again and just assess this because we might be looking at more medical bills. Let's assess it. Let's go. Let's go again. Choco Taco. Here we go. Okay, we know who Deshaun is. We know who Mike is. Which one is me?
Wait,
I'm in the red shirt.
Wait, which one?
Who kicks the leg over?
Okay.
That's me. Okay, we gotta hold on to each other too, though.
I gotta wear a tennis elbow guard. What is this guy got? This guy got a tennis elbow from roller skating.
You gotta find a backup preacher because we all might be hurt next Sunday.
And it's hashtag the Griffin Brothers.
Okay, we're in. Shuffle up. Okay, shuffle skate.
They're all related?
Debbie Dev, Lookout Weekend.
Apparently, Mike. All right, that's good. Okay, so I've got to throw my leg over. Okay, we're gonna need a little bit of time. We're gonna need a little bit of time, but just to everybody who's been out there posting and telling us to do this,
in the face with the roller skate.
Okay, we feel like your number's close.
Yeah, right. You're gonna pull something. You're gonna kick us. We're all gonna be hurt.
We're gonna take one for the team. Hey, the number's good.
Maybe after, if the video's too bad, like we'll get more money because people will feel bad for us.
He's got a good point. I love it. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there. Okay, let's get to the comment section as we always do. And I picked this comment. I want to read it to you guys. I was a little confused. I think you commented on it. It's about the birthday. I was a little confused at it, but I think we could talk about it. But let me get to the comment. Here it is, right here. It says the ancient Jewish culture didn't celebrate birthdays, but Romans did. So why are we following the Roman culture and not Jesus? And you simply put on there. Remember what you put? I'm not a Jew. I'm a Christian. Yeah. And what was your thought back? What were you attempting to say?
Yeah, I mean, sensible Christian. We go back and forth every once in a while. At first I thought he may be Seventh-day Adventist, but now I don't know. He may be Jehovah's Witness or something. I don't know. Which Jehovah's Witnesses aren't Christians. Seventh-day Adventists are. I don't understand. There's a lot of things we do that aren't Jewish culture. I mean, sensible Christian has never read the book of Galatians.
Okay.
So, I mean, if he read that, he'll totally understand.
Go ahead and explain it to everybody what you mean.
He's just following simple traditions, what he's been taught, the lies he's been taught. We see in Galatians how that you don't have to live according to Jewish culture anymore.
Correct.
That you're free to be yourself, but you do have things that you do to follow God, but you don't have to follow. And so you have Peter there, and he's hanging out with the other Gentiles until the other Jews show up, and Paul calls him out for it. It's like you knew you had the freedom to live with them, but when everyone else showed up, you wanted to act all holy. We don't have to live according to Jewish traditions anymore. We have freedom to have our culture and still follow Christ.
Right. Okay, I see where you're coming from. I guess what I was thinking was if you don't want to celebrate birthdays, then don't celebrate birthdays. If you do want to celebrate your birthday, celebrate your birthday. I guess going on your Galatians things, right? That's what he was saying. He went on to say in Corinthians, don't abstain from certain meats if it's going to cause your brother to stumble, and just do that somewhere else or X, Y, and Z. My thing is on your birthday. This was all centered around Christmas, whether or not you should celebrate Christmas or you shouldn't. Should you have a tree, not have a tree? My thing is that's upon your own personal convictions, and I don't try to push that or pawn that off on anybody else. But going back to the birthday, I feel like that's completely up to you. Whether or not you want to make a big deal of birthdays or not. I don't see any harm or foul in that. That's why I didn't really opine back to him. I didn't really respond and get into that dialogue. I just felt like, hey, you're free to do that. Mm-hmm. You don't want to celebrate your birthday or your kid's birthday, then you don't have to. But if you like to, I still don't see the harm or foul in it.
Yeah, people all around the world do church differently. The way they do church looks different. It's not the way they were doing it in the early church. Right.
Did you want to say anything to that? That's. I just thought that was a very good comment. Just trying to get some dialogue. I was trying to. Sometimes when they just leave a short comment, I don't really know where they're coming from or what's the object lesson in this or what you're trying to convey. So I just feel like if we dialogue,
he's big on we shouldn't eat pork. A lot of things like that too.
Ooh, we shouldn't have ribs.
That's what he says.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, he misses the verse when Jesus tells Peter, don't call what I call clean, unclean.
Right.
And then he had to go to the Gentiles, and then
Yeah,
Peter took that and started going.
By the way, the food he brought down was unclean food.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to give up ribs. I'm not gonna lie. I made some, and then that barbecue sauce we found. That
But
Kinder's,
then he says,
Ooh.
"Don't call what I said called clean, unclean."
Right. I'm just
switched up.
I'm just saying.
That unclean food got covered in the blood of Jesus.
Okay, it did. Because speaking of that, I went to a place the other day. I can't remember right at the moment, but I got some ribs, and I thought about you, and I'm gonna tell you something. They were okay. The tri-tip wasn't, and the brisket wasn't, but the ribs were okay. I put some of that Kinder sauce on it. It went next level, just so you know. So I might, if I can figure out where I went again, I may take you guys. But when you eat dry brisket, it kind of like so you just kind of forget about it. So that's what happened.
You guys like that Kinder stuff. I'm not a big fan.
Well, that's good.
I like it.
I like it a lot. If it just had a little bit of kick on some spice, it'd be even better. But what do you think about that comment? You with us? You just
Yeah. I haven't. I know that this person, they comment a lot. I haven't seen a lot of like what you guys have read. So whenever I see comments like that, or when people talk kind of and they talk about traditions or they talk about different cultures, it always makes me wonder kind of like where they're coming from. Like how do they practice life?
Okay.
Like what does that look like for you? So like, does this person, do they not celebrate birthdays?
Oh, okay.
It's like, well, kind of like where are you coming from? I didn't really understand what their point was.
Are you agreeing with us then? Like you're free to be like you want to celebrate Thanksgiving. You don't want to, then you don't have to. Is that what you're?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I thought. Okay, let's move on. So I talked about this week, and let's just dive right into the message recap this weekend. I want to get your guys' thoughts on how you end is how you begin. And I try to make that a really big point that people need to finish well, whether it's at a job, in a relationship, at a church, attending a church. There's a lot of people probably, as a new year approaches, thinking, man, maybe I should, go to a different church now. I'm not really feeling it anymore. And I really wanted to stress, no matter what season you are in life, you really need to end well. Bishop, what was your thoughts when I said that? What were you thinking when I was talking about that?
That's funny. I was talking to someone yesterday, sometime after service. We were talking about them maybe entering another relationship. And
okay, talk to us now. This gets us ready.
Well, I talked about.
Well, you got to end the first one.
Well, that was part of it.
Oh.
It's more complicated than that. Like they've been separated for a long time. So it's more to that. They're trying to do right by their kids, and so it's not that simple. I mean, that's what people. A lot of times in churches, always people will see outside looking in. People think it's could be this simple. It's like, okay, what's really going on here? But anyways, and he wanted some help through this, and I told him, I was like, hey, you can't enter this if you didn't end things right in the first place. You can't still be a part of this, even though this is ended legally. This is still what it is. And so you want God to be a part of this new thing. Right. Well, he can't be until this is ended correctly. And you can't start correctly in this new relationship. So if you want God to be a part of it, you need to put all that to a pause.
So good.
And figure all this out.
What do you think about that? Let me get your thoughts.
One of the things that that was imparted to me when growing up was the importance of finishing anything you start.
Speak on it.
And I was really thankful that I was raised that if you put your name on it and you're going to make a commitment, then you finish out your commitment. And whenever the commitment's over, then you can move on. And so I remember my mom, like they were adamant. Like if I signed up for soccer, like you had to finish soccer. If I signed up for this, like you didn't have to do it again if you didn't like it. But whenever that commitment date was up, you had to follow through until that day hit. Gotcha. And I think that one of the things that I see in kind of people maybe my age and younger, especially when it comes to hardships and relationships, is just being so willing to just quit. Okay. And then so there's this quitting aspect of ending things, and then there's also like ending well. And so I think I saw it as like almost like a two sides of a coin, in the sense of like people who probably shouldn't end things, and then people who need to end things well.
Let me ask you real quickly, just to fall back real quickly. What would you say is a benefit of ending well so you could start well? What would you say is a benefit if they're out there watching, contemplating? What would you say is a benefit to doing this?
God being a part of it. That means you having God on you. I want God on my side no matter what I do.
Gotcha.
And if I feel like if I'm leaving things in a bad spot, it's like I don't know if God will be with me in the next spot. Gotcha. He's like, no, I need to resolve that so I can keep walking with you. And I think that's what you see with David, like in Psalm 51, where he's asking for God, cleanse me, wash me, and then I will go do this. I will go teach people your ways. It's like I got to resolve this correctly with God, so He can move forward with me, and I can have the power of His Spirit move with me.
What about you? What would you say is a benefit, real quickly? Benefit.
Well, I think that what we're called to be is ambassadors, right? Like we're called to be people who don't just say we're Christians, but we actually live it out. And when we say that we're believers, like I think there's a standard in which we should live by. And so people should look at our lives and be like, hey, I wonder why they do that.
Okay.
They should ask that question. And if we are living this the same way as everybody else of the world, then there really isn't a difference. And so one of the benefits that I see of being somebody who finishes well is that we get to be different than what the world does. So when the boss, it really is rubbing us the wrong way, we're not just going to up and quit. We're going to do things the right way. Or whatever hardship that we may be in that we're asking God to deliver us from, or whatever it may be. You finish well and you finish it out to completion, so that when other people look at you, be like, man, I would have just quit. Yeah. Like I wonder why they didn't. It's because we live differently.
No, both of you, that's so good. I just want to throw just one more thing real quickly. I feel like there's a peace. There's a peace within your own soul. When you know you've done everything you could to finish well, whether that's conflict resolution, or whether that's putting in your 2-week notice, or fulfilling your obligation of a sign up, like you said, soccer or whatever it is, there's a peace that, hey, I did the right thing. Wasn't it Dr. King who said there's never a wrong time to do the right thing? And so you have this peace within your own soul, and then you've given everybody no stones to throw at you. You really did finish well. I love what you said. Above all, you've honored the Lord. You've honored the Lord in this process, and God always honors the man who honors him, period. And so I think that was really good advice. Okay, I want to show you guys something. So this is our last sci-fi clip. I'm not asking you guys to put on your tinfoil hats, although I feel like this year, you guys have come closer to being conspiracy theorists than ever before. I feel like this year you guys have made giant strides, and it's only a matter of time before you jump on this bandwagon over here when I say, hey, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but there are some things that just don't add up, okay? I want to show you something. I don't think it's AI generated. I don't think it's AI, AI manipulated, but it did kind of, sometimes I get up super early, right? You guys know I get up early, and I watch these clips because I'd be sending them to you guys early sometimes. And sometimes I don't think I should be watching them that early, because I saw this clip and I was like, whoa. I was like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? I just want to show this to you, Sci-Fi. I want to get your take on it, right? Watch this. How do you not see that? Did you see that? Or am I tripping? This is 4 o'clock in the morning stuff.
I see it.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yeah. But I mean, like,
okay.
the same way that when you're driving down the freeway,
I think,
clouds,
no, hold on, time out.
It's like a bird,
No, time out. I think this is culture, man. I think it's the way you raised, because I be thinking all sorts of bad stuff. Like some bad stuff, like Rona's coming after me or something, bro. Like the kukui, something. This is all bad. Like y'all didn't grow up with that stuff, I take it. You didn't grow up.
No.
Okay. Well, I see some straight demon right there. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I saw it.
It don't move you like it moves me, huh?
No.
Gosh, whatever. Leave it in the
so
comments.
So you saying you think there's a demon in the cloud?
Man, I thought for sure there was a demon. He was just looking over like that grin. Yeah, man, I watched too many scary movies. I don't know.
There's a Disney movie like that too. Was the dude moving in the clouds? Oh no, I'm thinking of Lion King, maybe the dad. Mufasa.
Oh, Mufasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I that was not Mufasa. That's all I got to tell you. I just, man, y'all leave it in the comments. That spooked me.
It's in Turkey.
Well, we've been to Istanbul. No, we didn't do a layover there. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now.
There's a lot of demonic stuff that happens in Turkey.
Before in the morning, I'm not gonna argue that. Before in the morning, I was trying to get out to my car to head to the gym. Man, I just kept seeing that image. I went to my car quick, boy. I turned on the car, locked the door. I was like, I got to go. Where I live, it's quiet. It's super quiet. Like it's
Too quiet for me.
So, okay, anyway, I'm just saying. Okay, y'all didn't take it like I took it. Well, you leave it in the comments. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A little spooky right there. Hey, so let's talk about what's trending. Two things blew up over the weekend, non-sports related. There's a lot of good sports happening this weekend, but two things blew up. Number one was the HB1 visas. We don't need to get into that. It's a little complicated, but headlines are running, MAGA's imploding, all this stuff. But the second thing is the bird flu. The bird flu virus has blown up, and this week on Face the Nation, Dr. Leanna Wen is literally asking the Biden administration to authorize vaccines for the bird flu and quite possibly go back to lockdowns. Oh. And everything is bird flu. This is COVID 2.0. Watch this clip and let's get some first take on what is trending right now. Let's go.
What should be happening in the Biden administration right now that isn't going on?
Yeah, there are two main things that they should be doing in the days that they have left. The first is to get testing out there. I feel like we should have learned our lesson from COVID that just because we aren't testing, it doesn't mean that the virus isn't there. It just means that we aren't looking for it. We should be having rapid tests, home tests available to all farm workers, to their families, for the clinicians taking care of them so that we aren't waiting for public labs and CDC labs to tell us what's bird flu or not. And the second very important thing is this is not like the beginning of COVID where we were dealing with a new virus, we didn't have a vaccine. There actually is a vaccine developed already against H5N1. The Biden administration has contracted with manufacturers to make almost 5 million doses of the vaccine. However, they have not asked the FDA to authorize the vaccine. There's research done on it. They could get this authorized now and also get the vaccine out and to farm workers and to vulnerable people. I think that's the right approach because we don't know what the Trump administration is going to be doing around bird flu. If they have people coming in with anti-vaccine stances, could they hold up vaccine authorization? If they don't want to know how much bird flu is out there, could they withhold testing? I mean, that's a possibility. And I think the Biden administration in the remaining days should get testing and vaccines widely available so that at least it empowers state and local health officials and clinicians to do the right thing for their patients.
Dr. Wen, is bird flu in humans super dangerous?
Well, the World Health Organization estimates that in prior outbreaks of the bird flu, that the mortality rate is 52%. 52%. However, in this most recent outbreak, it seems that most cases have been mild, and maybe some people even have asymptomatic infection. But the question is, we don't know what happens when bird flu affects more vulnerable individuals. People infected so far in the US have been mainly farm workers who are working, presumably generally healthy, as opposed to what happens when you get to children, to pregnant women, to older individuals with chronic illnesses. We don't know how deadly, how dangerous bird flu is going to be for those individuals. And again, that's one more reason why we don't want it to spread and acquire more mutations.
Okay, you look like you sat through like one of your worst college classes ever right there. What's your first thought?
I can't get those 2 minutes back. That's run. The world's gonna end. Run.
Is this Chicken Little?
It's like, first of all, man, if you reference WHO, I'm not listening anymore.
The WHO, your World Health Organization.
I'm not listening. All those corrupt organizations who lied to us about COVID, all the statistics that you can manipulate however you want in order to push vaccines. Say hello to RFK in 2025.
Yeah, he coming for him.
So go ahead, Miss Wen, Dr. Wen. You can push all you want to push because you better get it out of your system now because she's probably going to get fired from whatever job she's got in 2025.
What about you, Bishop? What'd you think when you heard that?
Yeah, it's the way she presents it is trying to make people scared. I mean, she presents it, 50% people like that. I'm like, man, it's a high number. And then she goes on to say, well, this current version is, people
might give you a rash.
Yeah. People don't have symptoms. And so it's like you're being successful. Like, no. You're trying to make people scared.
Okay, is it wrong of me to sit back here and go, who's paying you? How you getting a kickback? Is anybody, paying you to say this? Like, who actually, lines your checkbook? Like, where's your income coming from? Where's your sources of income? Like, I just feel like we getting played again. Did they burn us with COVID? With the hyperbole, did they burn us with COVID because all these other people, he has 5 million already contracted, with taxpayer dollars? So we paying for this again? for some vaccine that may work, that you may have to get boosted for, then it's not a vaccine if you got to get boosted for it. It's a flu shot. Just call it what it is. I feel like we're getting played all over again. I mean, am I hearing that wrong? Am I just jaded, or do you feel like they're using all the same verbiage and hyperbole again?
Yeah, well, and they try to play, your heartstrings again. Because what does she call them?
Vulnerable.
The farm workers.
Yeah, so it's like, who doesn't feel, who doesn't have a heart for those who are working in the fields or those who are elderly and can't take care of themselves? And so they play that same card. But then if you listen to what she's really saying, like it's nothing more than something mild on most people. All right.
But do you find the timing of this at all suspicious? Right before Biden's trying to get out of office, they trying to set Trump up. I mean, do you find it suspicious?
Well, I think they're trying to get some money before Trump comes in and shuts everything down.
Who's trying to get money? What you thinking?
Well, they're saying it's possible that she's working for them, or she's like, hey, I'll push this for you to try to get some of these vaccines pushed through so we can make some money.
Yeah, because obviously they're contracting. That's what she said. Her own words are these are contracted already. So you think this is another money grab for some company?
Get some tests out there in CVS again.
Yeah. By the way, those things never work to begin. What are they talking about?
Having all the schools hand them out to the kids.
Well, yeah,
before they go on break.
people pay for them. The schools are trying to give them away.
Right.
I mean, there's tons of people that are like, hey, we'll give you some COVID tests.
Do you know who paid for them? I'm looking at some payers right now. You and me, taxpayers.
Yeah, you can get. Yeah, it was at one point you can get as many as you want. People are trying to give them away.
Right. I don't know, man. There's a reason why it's trending. People are fed up. Do you think they're going to be able to pull off another lockdown?
No.
And pull off this? Oh, everybody's got to get tested.
No.
Why?
No, people won't do it.
They're done, huh?
Yeah.
They're done. Oh, it's mandatory vaccines you got to get now if you want to work. I think this is ludicrous. I think I'm telling you right now, they're running the same play. And what I've learned from people, they're going to run the same play until everybody pushes back and says, no, we're not going to have it.
But wasn't bird flu a thing a while back?
It's been around.
Yeah.
This is not just new to the scene. It's been around.
There was another one too.
Mad cow, swine flu.
Swine flu, all this stuff.
Try to take away our bacon, bro.
Don't play with the bacon, huh? Don't take my bacon. So I just think here we go again. Okay, I've got a question for you guys. If you had to give me just off the top of your head, let's talk about year in review. If you had to give me something off the top of your head, what stood out to you in 2024? I'm gonna leave it as a blank canvas. Has anything stood out to you in 2024?
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Go ahead. Should I start with myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Start.
You found a local article, and I couldn't believe what I read, so I'm going to show it to everybody.
I did?
You sent me a local article, and here's the setup. About a man in a women's prison.
Oh, yeah.
Who is up on rape charges, but the problem is, in front of the judge, they cannot call it rape because they are not allowed to use his genitalia in such a way because he identifies as a woman. So the DA cannot say he raped this woman with his you-know-what, because you're not allowed to say that because that you-know-what is only assigned to a man. And he is not a man, he is a woman. So the DA's over here going, well, what am I supposed to do if I can't say the word? And I can't call him or her. And I got to call him or her instead of her or him and what he really is. But here's the catch. This wasn't the first time he's done it. And caveat, you ready? She's pregnant.
He's got multiple women pregnant.
Yes. But can I just show you the article? I'm going to bring this up, okay? I'm going to show you the article, but I want you guys to see this, and I'm going to read it.
Thank you, Kevin. A controversial court ruling tonight. A convicted criminal who served time at the women's prison in Chowchilla is charged with raping fellow inmates. A Madera County judge says Tremaine Carroll must be referred to with she, her pronouns. But the district attorney is pushing back because the 52-year-old Carroll is a biological male, and the decision could impact the pursuit of justice. Court records show Carroll was convicted in Los Angeles County in 1993 for aggravated kidnapping for the purpose of ransom or to commit another crime. Carroll is now serving time in a men's prison as this rape case moves forward.
Action News reporter Brianna Willis spoke with the district attorney about the potential impact of the pronoun ruling.
A Madera County judge ruled this week 52-year-old state prisoner Tremaine Carroll must be referred to with she, her pronouns because Carroll identifies as a woman. But the district attorney believes the defendant is abusing the system.
This is a person who's not a woman in any sense of the word.
In March, DA Sally Moreno charged Carroll for rape allegedly committed while incarcerated at the Central California Women's Facility in Chowchilla.
After his first cellmate became pregnant and was moved to Los Angeles, 2 other cellmates of his complained that he had raped them. So we have filed rape charges against this inmate.
Moreno says the ruling regarding pronouns impacts her ability to prosecute the case.
This is a particular issue in this case because it's confusing to the jury. In California, rape is a crime that has to be accomplished by a man.
Supervising Deputy DA Eric Dutemple says it's also unfair to the victims.
It's just absolutely insane that a victim would have to get on the stand and police their pronouns and their usage when trying to recite one of the most scariest times in their lives.
Carroll was allowed to serve time in a women's prison despite being a biological male because of Senate Bill 132, the Transgender Respect Agency and Dignity Act, which took effect in 2021. It allows inmates to be housed with the gender they identify as. The CDCR website points out state law prohibits discrimination based on gender identity.
There's no psychological evaluation that needs to be done. This person doesn't need to be on cross-gender hormones. They don't need to be signed up for transgender surgery. They don't even need a significant psychological evaluation regarding gender confusion. The mere statement is enough.
The CDCR has since relocated Carroll to Salinas Valley State Prison for men. We reached out to CDCR about the case. They sent us a statement about Senate Bill 132, adding that they thoroughly investigate all allegations of sexual abuse, but they do not comment on cases in current litigation. Moreno says Carroll fired the defense attorney handling the case and has chosen to move forward with self-representation in court. Carroll's next court date is set for January 14th. Brianna Willis, ABC 30 Action News.
What? Can I get you guys' thoughts on that? Is this the most ludicrous thing you've ever heard?
No, unfortunately, it's not, because we know multiple people who work in prisons, and he's not the only one who's in prison doing this stuff. Like, even at that site, they have dozens of men who are claiming to be women who are being housed with real women.
Okay. So I've got to ask a question. I don't know if you guys are old enough, but I'm old enough to remember. We went through this whole women's rights movements, and we should respect women. We should value their voices. We should place a high value on women.
True.
Women matter.
I agree with those two.
Okay.
No, someone knows. Okay.
Okay. No. So I'm saying, but I don't know if you guys grew up with that. It was a big push.
Yeah, I did.
That we need to be equal, all this stuff. How on God's earth are we protecting women when we put serial rapists who have all the biological anatomy still, and just because they want to go in and rape and victimize other people, they just simply say, because of our stupid legislators up in Sacramento, who y'all need to vote out for anything less of just this right here. Find out everybody who voted for this ludicrous bill without them having to do anything, but just say, oh, I identified as a woman. You identified as a woman so that you could go victimize other women. And I hope those women sue the correctional facilities. I hope they sue the state of California, because you have traumatized them. You think he just raped them one time? It was incessant. It was repeated. That guy was locked in for all night long, and y'all did nothing to protect those women. May God have mercy on your soul for not protecting women. The number one thing we need to do as men is we need to protect women. That man needs to get an old-fashioned you-know-what kicking. That is ridiculous. He is sick in the head, and somebody needs to set him straight, and they need to fix this problem, because I'm telling you right now, that's somebody else's mom, that's somebody else's auntie, that's somebody else's sister, that's somebody else's something, and you did nothing. You know what? If you didn't feel it was wrong, why did you put him in a men's facility now?
That was interesting, huh?
Because you know you're wrong. And we got stupid politicians playing stupid games with all this ludicrous stuff. You either a man or you a woman. Get it right. Don't be mixing the two. To know that he has done it repeatedly, there is no grace, there's no mercy, there's nothing in it. That man is sick in the head. He needs to be castrated, period, point blank. I don't know how y'all feel. That's how I feel. How'd y'all feel? I got a little worked up there.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is going on. Now, people are arguing like, oh, it's not that big a deal, like all the trans stuff and things like that. It's not that big as people making out to. In the way, actually, I agree with you. It's not as big, like in numbers wise. But if you allow this little number to go on, it's going to grow. Like it's not big that a bunch of kids are transitioning at school, but they're allowed to right now. If you continue to let this go, it's only going to continue to increase, and you're going to see that. And no one cares about this. People always want to fight for this one victim. They always want to fight for it. George Floyd is that one victim you fight for. Well, how about these ones? No one's fighting for them, but you stand on this idea, and this like almost like religion that they're building, and you don't care who it hurts. You don't care if those women get hurt. You just want to fight for these rights, and it doesn't matter to you.
You know what I say to people who say it's not that big of a deal? One is one too many. No, I ain't playing no defense. I'm playing offense. One is one too many.
Yeah, but I would agree that I think that's the biggest argument that they would make, right? So you talk about like trans people in sports. Well, there's really not that many, because they made the argument about the guy that was playing on the women's volleyball team at San Jose
and
State.
Half that team left that team.
But there is video that you can literally access that shows high school boys playing against high school girls, claiming that this dude's a girl.
It was right here in the Central Valley,
and like
in Cali,
in volleyball, like breaking girls' faces with the ball. Like in basketball, elbowing them and hurting them, like. And so it's sickening. It's really disheartening, especially in California, how there is such a push of like protecting all people, but then that's not really true. And you are really trying to tailor all your policies and everything to a very small, select group of people, when in reality there are all these women that are affected. There are all these girls that are affected, and whether that be in prisons, or that be in schools, whether that be at Target trying to go to the restroom, all these women just totally get the blind eye. And it's just like, what will it take? You would think that, I think we would have had a conversation a while back that said, once there's this type of thing, then, the tide will turn, right? Well, is the tide going to turn? Because it doesn't get much worse than that. I mean, it does, but it doesn't get much worse than that. And so I really hope that something will happen with CDCR. It's interesting that they moved him to a men's facility.
I'm telling you.
Because what inside of him changed, like on paperwork and all those different things, what changed for them to be allowed to move him to the men's?
According to what we just heard in the court document, nothing.
Yeah,
because they're not allowed to use those pronouns. So nothing changed. So we have to ask them, the top brass, why did you change? What happened? Because you knew you had a perpetrator. You knew you had a serial rapist. I hope that I really do hope people go after him. That's just my personal opinion. I got no evidence on anything, but I would love just to hear the paperwork on that. I would love to see those emails and all that stuff, because something's fishy.
Well, yeah. When in this case isn't the only one in regards to that specific prison. That there are women all the time getting pregnant up there.
And I'd like to get the stats on that, because right now it's allegedly until we see. This isn't allegedly because they're in court.
Oh, ask some COs that work over there.
I'm just saying I'd like to get that in front of us. But okay, let me ask you guys this. Moving on. I'm going to ask you, what was a bigger deal, okay, in 2024? The Cat Williams video on Club Shay Shay talking about P. Diddy?
Hey, that was good.
Or the Olympics in 2024?
Or the Olympics?
Or the Olympics. What was bigger?
Cat.
I thought that was 23. Was it 24?
Yeah, 24.
Okay.
Yeah, what was bigger?
Name an Olympian in 2024.
That one dude that kept losing.
Noah Lyles.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't say his name. I didn't remember his name, but yeah.
That was track. That's all I got. It's track and field. That's track and field. That's all I got.
I think Cat.
Yeah, no, Cat Williams was bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Cat Williams called out some stuff, and then it came to the light pretty soon after that.
Okay, what was the bigger deal? Cat Williams or the famous preachers fallen this year? The Robert Morris, the Tony Evans, the Steve Lawsons. What was the bigger deal?
Ooh, to us, it'd be the preachers.
Yeah, That you bring up a good point. I guess to those in the church, which one out of those three surprised you the most? Robert Morris, Stephen Lawson, and Tony Evans all having issues. Which one surprised you the most?
Unfortunately, I don't know who Stephen Lawson is.
That's John MacArthur's guy. He taught at the Masters College. He had his own church. He was on a preach. Yeah, he was huge.
But Robert
like if
Morris,
you run the Baptist circle, like he's top 3, top 4. Like he's that big.
Robert Morris was very surprising to me.
Which one about you?
Robert Morris is.
Okay, I'm only gonna say, yeah. No, if I have to think about it, yeah, I would have to go with that. How do you guys think the church handled that, by the way, so far? Church in general, Big C Church, not the small church, not his local church, but how do you think the Big C Church handled that whole scandal?
I don't know.
I don't know what else they're supposed to do.
Okay.
I don't know like how. I don't know how big he was. Like I mean I know like
in the church world, okay.
Right? So like in the church world, like if you were to pull 10 Christians, like how many of them really knew and followed Robert Morris?
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, what was the bigger deal? Was it the scandals, the pastors? By the way, there was a lot of Texas pastors who fell in 2020.
Some happened in Dallas.
Bro, there's some they're calling it North Texas, whatever they call it, but there's a lot going on there. Okay, bigger deal. The pastor scandals of 2024 or Trump winning again in 2024? What would you
Trump.
say? What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a bigger story.
Bigger story?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do this. Since we talked about that, I want to hear from you guys. Do you got any bold predictions about 2025? And I'll let you go anywhere from pastoring to the economy to presidency. What do you think something people could expect? Middle East tensions. What do you think something people could look at coming towards 2025 as something as a big deal?
Bold prediction is pulling something out of the hat. I say Trump comes into office and a lot of things change if you're a conservative Christian for the better. I think that he comes in just guns a-blazing. And I think that things actually start to change. Like,
and give us an IE.
A lot of this trans stuff.
Okay.
I think that he will tie like state funding, like federal funding to states on stuff that they're trying to push, like specifically in schools.
Do you think we got a little sense of that already by some of the people backing out? Like LPGA, people have already done it, and then the DEI. Like a lot of companies have dropped the DEI schools. Matter of fact, Iowa just gave up its transgender studies. So you think this has already had what they would deem, everybody deems it something they call it the Trump effect.
Yeah, well, I think what do they say? Money talks, right? And I think money also moves the needle and forces your hand to do certain things. And so as much as like Gavin Newsom wants to be a very staunch against Trump type of guy, I think that he's also got to play the game.
Okay. What about you? Got a bold prediction for 2025?
I don't know if it's bold. I feel it'll be like a little bit more peace, a little less angst towards each one another.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
You think the dust is finally going to settle?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were going to talk about peace in the Middle East. I was like, what you know that we don't know over here? So do you feel like?
Well, I mean, possible even with that. I think we could see even peace this in the world, like the wars are going on, peace in our country.
Do you feel like one of the, I shouldn't say one of the big conduits of that, but one of the big, or what could possibly be one of the main reasons for that is Trump just wants everybody to make money. And sometimes that simmers people down. Like in the Middle East, especially, like, hey, you need to make money, we need to make money, but we can't make money if we fight each other.
Yeah, I would say that in the political world, yeah.
Okay.
And I think here in our country, I think once you're not watching a bunch of stuff where people are dividing and fighting each other, you see people differently.
Okay.
You're not looking for a fight.
Okay.
When people are hearing constantly this side's evil and this side's evil, I think people will walk around with that mindset. I think if you can get out of that, people actually will be kind to one another.
Okay. I'm gonna make a bold prediction, and it's definitely gonna eat at some people. Okay. So just give me a measure of grace right here. But I'm gonna make a bold prediction of 2025. And I think to my conservative friends, this is gonna get them a little upset. To my I don't want to call them liberals. I don't think they're liberal, but to my non-conservative friends, this is going to give them some hope. But in 2025, I'll make a bold prediction. I think the Trump administration is going to put forth, it's not just a political statement though, okay? I really believe this to be an evangelical statement as well. But I think the Trump administration is going to put forth a plan to give all the DACA residents, all the dreamers who have been here, I'm going to say 15 plus years, he's going to give them a path to citizenship. I really do. And I think it's going to infuriate the hardcore right, what they call MAGA people. I think it's going to infuriate them. And I don't think he's doing it to infuriate them. He's going to do it on a merit basis. These people have been working jobs. They've been attending school. They've been doing all the things that we would ask a legal citizen to do. I don't believe it's just going to be carte blanche, right? Just to sign a piece of paper. I think they're going to have to do some necessary steps, possibly some penalties and fines, possibly get a lawyer or something. But I think he's going to expedite the process because I think he knows the value of these people. They're Americans. They're probably more American than they are from the country they came from. I think he's going to give them a pathway. And I think if they are educated and working in a successful field, I think it's just going to be quicker. I think he's going to do that. I think because he's a man, he's a businessman first. He's not a politician first. He's a businessman, and he knows this is just right for the country. And I think on the conservative side, the hardcore conservative side, they're going to have to deal with that. But I think also on the non-conservative side, what we call more liberal people, I think they're going to be surprised. And I think you're going to see people start to change their tune. And I think that's going to happen first in the evangelical church. For the people who've been so hard up against, Trump, no, he's not a Christian, he's not that. I think they need to move the needle a little bit. Like, see, he did the right thing. He did, because he prides himself. Here's why I say this. He prides himself on being a man of action and doing what other presidents couldn't do. How do I know that? Because he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. Instead of being in Tel Aviv, he moved it to Jerusalem. And the first thing he said is, I did what every predecessor, every president before me said they were going to do. They said they were going to move it, and they never moved it. I moved it. I really think he's going to do that with this whole immigration thing. Everyone is touted that they can fix immigration. I did it, and here's what I did. That's my bold prediction for 20. Am I crazy, or are you guys like that one? You think I'm right?
Yeah, I would. That would not surprise me at all. I think the number might be 10 years.
What do you mean?
You said 15 years?
15? Yeah. I just threw out a number. Okay.
But I think that he would definitely do that.
You think I'm crazy? You think I hit my head? Or are we going to be replaying this?
We'll go find out.
That
big white dude wants to send people back.
Well, I will tell you this. I make no apologies for some of the comments he's made as far as the rapist, the serial, that guy who set that woman on fire in the subway, the Tren de Aguas gang that took over a whole complex in Colorado, shot up people. Like, I'm just saying, I have no problem if he's starting with criminals first and drug pushers and the cartels. Listen, I'm good. But I think you're going to see sense and sensibility. I think this guy, he's doing his job in this case, but he's got to let the politicians do their job.
You want a crazy dog at that job, but you also want him on a leash.
That's it.
As long as they keep that dude on a leash, I think we'll be all right. Because if that dude's off the leash,
we all get bit.
We all might be.
We all get bit. Well, one of us for sure is getting bit.
Well, you're Mexican. We're married to Mexicans. They might take us.
Yeah. I'm just looking at you two like, y'all need to have a plan to get me back.
He's sending families back. So that means that your whole family gone.
Yeah. Okay.
His whole family gone. My whole family gone.
Okay. But someone's got to come get us. Y'all got to come get us. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Y'all got to work some things out. I'm looking at my son.
No.
You gonna be all right, son.
No. My kids are black. He Mexican. His dad's Mexican. We already established this.
Okay. I gotta play some as we wrap it up. I gotta play some. I just don't know what to do with this. I'm not saying it's, we always do the not a pastor clip. I really believe him to be a pastor. I just don't know what to do with this clip. It's like, sometimes I think people, hey man, you just need to retire. Stop talking, just retire. Quit while it was good.
Mike Todd again? Or
no, it's not.
Mike Todd doing the drummer boy coming down from the ceiling.
You guys. No, I got to play this clip. I used to really respect this guy. I just, out of respect, I won't say anything too negative, but he done went a little too far. Let me show you this.
I have made an entered covenant with God. And on December the 6th, 2056, I'll see you all later. I'm out of here. 120 years old.
I consider not my body 83 years old in the name of Jesus, but only that which God had promised. And I have a personal covenant with God to live 120 years on this earth.
But then I have a mandate before me. Should the Lord tarry, I will live and preach this gospel till I'm 120 years.
What if he does? I'm like, man, I'm careful what I say. What if he does?
Do you think he's right?
Well, then one of them, he hedges his bets. He's like, if the Lord should tarry, which means the Lord should delay his coming.
Okay.
And the other part of me thinks he better stop preaching so hard, or else he's really not going to make 120.
But why do that? Why tell people that? Why not just keep it between you and the Lord? If it's a covenant, keep it between you and the Lord.
I don't know. I mean, I never heard one of his sermons in my life.
He's huge. He's Word of Faith movement.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I only see the videos when they make fun of him. I have never seen anything like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no.
Stupid stuff.
But why would you say that? Like, you're doing too much. You're saying too much.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, what am I supposed to do? Like,
I don't know.
What am I supposed to do with the clip?
That's why I just looked at you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with it either. Like man, some of his old teaching is real good. He's very knowledgeable about covenants and stuff. He's real. Trust me. There's some good meat on that bones. Not all of it, but there's some good meat. Choice selections. But I'm saying, if you had that, why you got to say that? All right.
I don't know.
Anybody know what's the record for longest lived person? Did anybody ever make it 120?
Well, in the Bible, Methuselah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, you asked me. Okay. So we're rounding it up.
Well, yeah, with that one of the presidents just died, 100.
Well, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Carter just died. He was yeah. We'd have to look that up. But okay, I want to give you guys something. As we I don't really do New Year's resolutions, but I did find a clip that I want to show you guys. And I always get nervous when I do these 3 things clips. You guys know that I always get nervous. But I just want to ask you, just setting up the clip, what'd you find out?
122 years old, lady from France.
Okay, but so unfortunately, we don't know if that's an accurate 122 though, because we don't know if that was an accurate birth certificate or not. But I guess we could clearly say she was up there.
Because she could be like a Dominican baseball player.
We're not sure about the age.
She was really 122, but on paper she was 86.
Yeah. So, but I want to show you this. So I want you guys just to pick which one thing, okay, that you guys think would be good. All right.
One of 3 rules that I have in my house: love and respect everybody you come in contact with. You're not going to like all of them. You're not going to agree with them, but you love them and you respect them. 2, don't use the word can't. For 2 reasons. From a biblical sense, the Bible says that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The second part of it is I was told my entire life what I'll never do. You'll never graduate from high school. You'll never go to college. You'll never do this. You'll never do that. And it was all proven to be a lie. And then the third is be your best. And your best may be 80% or 70% or 60%. But if you know for a fact you gave your best, you or God will never be disappointed. It's when you didn't study for that test. It's when you didn't, do your research before you sat down for that interview. It's like, man, I wish I would have did such and such. That's when you can have regrets and you didn't give your best.
Those rules are for your children?
Yeah, it's for everybody that steps foot in my house.
It's probably why I don't have a dad award, because my 3 rules are very simple, and every kid that comes to my house have to sing them, and I made a song out of it. It's 1, don't hurt nobody. 2, don't tear nothing up. And 3, be good.
Oh, okay.
Yours are deeper in life lessons. Yeah. My shit is 1, don't hurt nobody. Yeah. 2, don't tear nothing up. 3, be good.
Yeah.
Can you text me yours and make a song out of it?
Yeah. You make the song, I'll text them to you.
That's football players for you right there. You like that one? Which 3 did you like better? Don't tear nothing up. Be good.
One's real deep and one's real practical.
What I know, he said.
You need both of those.
He said, I didn't win no Dad of the Year award.
Let's do 6 rules on the wall. We'll take 3 of each.
What? Just if you guys could, as we close out this segment this year, which one stood out to you? I thought it was, do your best, love and respect, and don't use the word can't. I thought that was really good. But which one stood out to you and why as we close out this segment? Go ahead, Token.
We've talked before about kind of leaving a legacy, looking in the future of how we should live today based on like where we want to see ourselves in the future. And I think that these are 2 prime examples of people who are living for the now,
right,
and people who are living for a legacy.
Okay.
The first guy, I don't know who he is, but even his rules are all setting his kids up for the future. These are all principles that they can carry with them in their age, that they can pass on to their kids. And then the other guy, Channing Crowder, I think it's his name. Like they're very good rules for a house, but it's just like for the now. Basically like let's steward ourselves, steward our relationships well. Let's steward like the things that God's given us well. Obviously, He doesn't say it like that. And so as I'm listening to the 2, and he suggests like, hey, I kind of like yours better, because he knows that those dad principles, those godly principles, are what you really want to pass on down. So I like the first set of rules better.
Yeah. What about you? Come on, Bishop. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, I like the first set better too. What were the 3 again? The 3 different.
He said, "Love and respect, do your best, and don't use the word can't."
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I mean, I think it's something good even to give my kids, and I try to encourage my kids with, that they can do anything, and encourage them, and to give examples of like my life, my wife's life, things that we've done, and to keep moving forward in that way. You know, they're good. I mean, I think the first rules you need to, because kids will destroy your stuff. they wrongly express each other.
Yeah.
But to have those other ones of thinking not just short term, not just in the media, but thinking towards the future, I think it's good. And I think for us, you know, as the new year comes, that you have those things that you're looking for. How do I continue to build my life for the future through this year, instead of just losing 10 pounds? Like, you know, how can I continue to make myself better overall? So.
Yeah. Hey, first off, I want to thank everybody who's tuned in this year, all the faithful listeners to the Not Offended podcast. We do this, and our number one goal is to talk about culture and its influence on the church, but also to help you, to equip you, to inform you. And so we try to talk about things people don't want to talk about, but we always try to end in a positive way. That's why we play these clips at the end, that you might be encouraged and inspired to do better and to be better. I want to encourage you with this, not going off this list, but kind of going off this list, but I want to talk about don't use the word can't. I totally believe in what he's saying. Don't say you can't unless it's really a physical impossibility. Like, I can't dunk a 10-foot ball or on a 10-foot rim. I can't dunk that ball, but with some assistance I can. But I can't just jump. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not athletic enough, and quite frankly, I'm too old now. But what I will say is I want to set goals that I know I can achieve. I can lose 10 pounds over the next 10 weeks. I can start jogging by first taking a first step and walking. I want you to think about this, and when you start to say I can't, and tell me what you can do. Talked to somebody the other day. They said, Pastor, I don't know if I can go to the gym. I said, well, you can still go out and buy shoes and go for a walk around your house. And a lot of times we live through this self-imprisonment of the can'ts. And what I want to tell you today is, don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do, and let's start there. Let's find some common ground. I believe the best is yet to come. I believe God's got something for you in 2025. A big shout out, much love and respect to all y'all who've been following us. Peace. We out.
This is Anthony from the Not Offended podcast, the conservative Chicano right here. If y'all could do me a favor, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you could leave a comment, hit the like button, but most of all, if you could hit subscribe, we'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.